Welcome to Call of the Pen playoff edition. Let's do a little quick breakdown, Steve, of over the weekend. Some surprising wins here and some not so surprising. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean the Rangers just doing work. I shouldn't say I'm completely shocked. I mean I knew the offense would show up, but game two, I mean they really showed up and gave them a nice little cushion there, so they didn't have to go to their big boys in the bullpen,
Yeah.
which saved their arms. Now they got 2 days off because they have a day off today. I mean that's a sneaky big deal, especially after coming off a wild card run too. So yeah, I mean obviously the Orioles are in trouble, but they've played well all year. The thing that's kind of a little bit of a surprise, but not total shocker to me too, is that every team that, except for Houston, that's had a bye hasn't won a game yet.
Interesting.
I mean, um, or Atlanta obviously lost, so that the NL is a little different because they had a day off, but Baltimore had a bye. They've lost both games so far, and usually it's the offense. I feel like that sputters.
Yeah.
Pitching was okay, game one for Baltimore, but game two, obviously, not so
Came
much.
alive.
The Rangers were all over them.
Well, the
So
Rangers
those teams that
bullpen
come up,
tried. They tried to give it to them. They did everything possible. They walked as many as they could,
yeah,
and rusty at bats, I guess, from having a break.
right. And young team too. They were on fire coming into the postseason. Then they had to sit for what? How many days was it? 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's it's like, what do you do in that situation? You know what I mean? Like if you're a manager or something, you can only have inter squads aren't the same. You can't pitcher or live DPS aren't the same as playoff experience. Like what do you do with those? It's just you get your bye, but it's you know
You might not want the
you
vibe.
lose
They might
momentum.
want to change it. They might not want to do the buys anymore because, I mean, unless you have
Well,
the real experience.
it's like a catch 22 though. It's like you have a bye, so you already advanced to the next round. So it
Yeah.
saves you from taxing your bullpen and your arms really. And then all of a sudden, but at the same time, you're losing your momentum and your mojo that got you there. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah. For
like
even like during the
it's a
season, I
tough. It's
hate
like
when
what
if
would you
we're on a
rather
good
have? I don't
run.
know.
During the season, if we're on a good run, all of a sudden that day off comes. You're just like, oh, I wish we didn't have this day off. We had such a good run going.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
man, Orioles are in serious trouble. Serious. I don't see how they win this series. I think this series is a wrap. I don't know if they'll get swept, but I think it's over.
Yeah. I don't think they'll get swept, but guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, who do they got starting tomorrow? Oh, Gibson,
Yep. So they're
who did
yeah.
pitch
I
in
mean
that
they're gonna
stadium.
he'll have a short leash because I'm pretty sure they have a day off after that.
Yeah, the schedule's set up. The whole playoff schedule is different now. It's set up for the bullpens. Like you get empty your bullpen every game now. It seems like because an
Yep.
NL starts the series day off. Like when we played, it was game off, game off, game. Now they're
Hmm.
just like they don't want to compete with football or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It is weird because not to switch gears, but the Atlanta Philly game, game one. Obviously you got Strider going. He's going to go as deep as you can because he's an absolute animal,
Yeah,
and he did go deep and save their bullpen. But then on the other side, you had Ranger Suarez get pulled pretty quick, but it wasn't like actually a bad move because you have the
no.
day off. Your bullpen's so good, you have a day off the next day. Why not do it? So I mean, they played that really well. One time I'd be like, all right, pull your starter early, it'd be it.
Well, especially for Ranger. I mean, well, you got Wheeler and Nola coming on the other next starts, which is this whole series and the days off set up perfect. I guess we'll just move over to the Braves and the Phillies series, but it
Might as
sets up
well, yeah.
perfect. It sets up perfect for them with that
Hmm.
day off and them getting game one. Oh my gosh, like they stole it. You get out of actually they didn't steal it. They dominated it, and
Yeah,
that well Trey Turner making an amazing
Trey
play.
Turner, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not a big
That
fan of
was huge.
Strom. I don't think his off speed's very good. I thought when he had to face Ozzy Albies is like Babe Ruth when he hits right-handed. Like he's amazing right-handed. I thought that was the worst matchup they could possibly get themselves into, and they got the luck was on their side.
Yeah, they brought in Strom uh, the face. What's his face?
Riley.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. I was kind of confused. Obviously, they didn't like the kid with a 4 pitch walk prior to that, but I'm
Yeah.
like,
But
I'm
if
going
that's
one or
his
two
leash,
more
don't send him
hitters.
out there. Don't let him start the inning if that's his leash.
Yeah, I guess it was one of those things where like, all right, if he shows any blemishes, he's getting pulled that whole routine. But like, you're bringing in a lefty, unless I'm missing something, and Riley doesn't see lefties as well or has bad numbers against Strom. I don't know, but I'm taking my
Yeah.
chances with that kid slider
Yeah.
against Riley.
Strom got lucky. He almost gives up the homer to the warning track. Next one's an absolute bullet. I don't think that one works out again if it happens.
Yeah, but if you're Strom, that's like a confidence booster. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
fired up.
He's beating his chest like I just gave up that rocket gun, don't play. I did
He did his job. This is a team game, baby. Team
it.
game.
Yeah, but those hitters will feel pretty confident when he comes in next time. I don't know how he gets. He must have a really sneaky fastball because this off speed is just garbage. But it's
I don't
always
know,
been
man. He's
garbage.
got pretty.
He's always had that sneaky
He's got.
ride.
No, I think he's pretty decent. He's had a decent career, and this year he's been solid this year for them.
Hey, he was a good
You know,
starter, man.
otherwise
Good
they
spot
they
starter.
won't they wouldn't put him in a situation like that if they didn't trust him. So
No, he's done well. I'm saying he
yeah.
must have something sneaky going on.
So what do you got? Wheeler and Freed.
Well, last time I told you if Freed started, the Braves would win. If Strider started, the Phillies would win. So now I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to go with Freed. You're not losing 2 in a row in Atlanta. Wheeler is dominant. I mean, the Phillies, both. I like the Phillies bullpen more than Atlanta's because you can get to Alvarado and he can go 2 innings, and you're in
Yep.
serious trouble once you get to Alvarado.
Yeah. So you're going with
Uh, I'll go with the Braves. I got Freed. I don't even know even though he's got some blister going on or something.
yeah. I like what you said. You're not going to lose two at home, but I don't know. Wheeler's the cheese, dude. He's so good.
He is so good. He's calm and collected, and Gumby out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wheeler in Philly on this one.
Ooh,
So I say Philly, you say Atlanta. And I
you
gotta
got
look back to
Philly
see how you
taking
did
2
last
in a
time on
row.
your picks.
I
Two
would.
in a
I'm
row.
7 out of my last 8. I'm on a heater.
The only thing that worries me about that, other than the fact that Freed's pitching, of course, and Atlanta's offense is ridiculous, is the day off, like you mentioned earlier. Like Philly was rolling, but they just had a day off coming into this too. So I'm
They're
sticking
a
with Philly.
veteran team. They're confident. They know what they're doing. I would never panic about days off with Philly.
There's just something
I always
about
worry
them right
about
now.
Philly going home, putting up duds. Like after all for years, is like after a long road trip, the hypes come in and then they just put up a dud. So, but the fact that they're still on the road, I wouldn't worry about them. You know how it is when you're on the road. It's just you. Well, they have their families for the playoff, but it's just you against the world, really. So they're a tight knit group. I
Yeah,
just don't see Atlanta. I don't unless Free gets hurt. The only way they lose this game if Free gets hurt. The Braves.
or the bullpen gives it up. You think they're gonna let Freed go as deep as Strider if he gives up 2 runs?
Oh, I bet they don't trust him as much.
Right. I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong, but
The wheels fall
Strider
off quick for that kid, though. They do fall
Strider
off.
tried to Strider tried to talk himself back into that eighth.
Yeah. Cranny was just like, what do you want me to do?
He's just gonna wear it.
Yeah,
All right, let
he
it all
wore that
out,
one
kid.
pretty good.
He did. I love it.
So
All
let's
right,
move on. So, all right, I got the Braves today. You got Philly.
correct.
And then
Ah,
the
this matchup's
Dodgers,
gonna
the
be sick.
Diamondbacks. Man, what a butt whooping that was.
It was, dude. What's crazy? And I get it because Kershaw's like playoff pedigree isn't the greatest, but like his stuff was like a tick up from his last start during the regular season. Like he was throwing harder, and his stuff, like it looked. Other than the fact that he started falling behind guys, probably getting tired, like his stuff looked okay. They were just all over him, dude.
All over him. It's
Like
like
comfortable.
the ball was up in the zone a lot. Sliders are up in the zone. I
Yeah.
told you, like they just faced Corbin Burns and Freddie Peralta. I'm sorry, Kershaw is Kershaw, but right now Kershaw does not intimidate those young guys. and his stuff was
Yeah.
probably just a beach ball for them at the time.
I mean, there was one pitch, um, oh, that bat against their catcher, man, that was an impressive at bat. What's the catcher's name? Is it Marrero or Moreno or something?
Yeah, that guy's
I'm
he's
drawing a
good.
blank. He's good, dude, and
He's
that was
good.
an impressive at bat, and he just took him way back. And
Way
that for
back.
me
It was
was
like
like
up
the
and in. I didn't
absolute
think he got
dagger.
it.
I mean, impressive. So and they showed his record too with that kid catching. It's Arizona's record is like far and away better than anyone else catching.
Oh
But he
well.
got like concussed,
Yeah,
against
he
the
did.
Brewers, and so. Anyways, yeah, but Gallen and Bobby Miller, that's gonna be a sick matchup. I like
Bobby
it.
Miller is good, but he's. I think this team is
Uh,
just way too confident. I
yep,
mean, I'm gonna roll with the D-backs. They're on a heater.
I know. Me too. They can take two from them
Whew.
in LA.
They take two in LA. Oh my! The Dodgers aren't. It's not a World Series roster because they don't have a World Series starting rotation. They got
Yeah,
young kids with some serious stuff, but
year or two, and they add some guys. They're gonna be back to World Series contenders again.
yeah, I just don't see it this year. The offense. I mean, they carried them through the West, but how good was the West?
Yeah, thought it was gonna be better.
We're
Padres
learning
struggled.
that well, I don't know. The West actually might be the Central's terrible. So we just saw the West just go in and take two real fast from the Brewers.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know. I got the D-backs today. If I got the
Yeah,
D-backs today and I win this and we win this one,
we
start
gotta have
selling
you
my
on
tickets.
ESPN.
So,
Yep, it's gonna be a good matchup. I'm excited. I hope it's close because I want to see Seawald close it out.
yeah.
The guy brings so much excitement. He's not a spring chicken anymore either.
No, you know what? It's good for him to revive his career. Now he's on a playoff race. Like he's earned it.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's cover the Twins and
Well,
Astros real quick. That's an
all right.
interesting. What do
You
you got
said
on
we go ahead.
Verlander get taken out at like 90 pitches and he wants to stay in on the game one, and right away Hector hit by pitch, bomb. Right next thing you know, it's a 1-run game. Like, why if a Hall of Fame guy wants to stay in the game and he's dominating, and why not just and you have a game the next day? Why don't you just save your bullpen and let it ride?
Yeah, I don't know. Dusty's old school usually.
I know that was weird.
I mean, I'm wondering if it's because uh he. I mean, I wouldn't say he struggled when he got traded over to the Astros, but he wasn't the same. And then
Right.
on top of that, it's almost like a Kershaw thing. Like in the playoffs, it's been a little bit dicey. So I wonder if any of that played into it. But I'm with you. I'm letting it roll. My guy's a Hall of Famer. He's a stud. I'd put him out there anytime. So
Especially when
I'm
he's got
rolling
that
him
look
out.
in his eye that game. He had that look in his eye like, I'm just
Yep.
dominating you. You got no
Yep.
shot. Call whatever you want. I already know what I want to throw him, and he would even shake off Maldi. He's so calm. He's even like looking in the stands, like listening to his pitch con. Like no, yep,
Yep. Rolling. I love it.
rolling.
He's awesome, man. All right. Game two, though.
Pablo, man, did it. And I mean Valdez, he's been shaky.
Proving
He
you
has been,
wrong.
huh?
You said Pablo was a little dicey going into
I
the
know
big moments. He's
his
a
ball.
stud.
His nuts must have dropped over the last couple of years, but good for him.
Yeah, he looked really good. And I'm glad they did let him roll too this time. They pulled him. I don't know. They didn't. I wouldn't say they pulled him early last time. It was close. It could have gone either way. But they let him ride a little bit this time. It was good to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, the Twins' offense is very sneaky. First game, obviously Verlander's just dominating. So you're just like the Twins are terrible, but then they
Hmm.
show up and just raked. So going back to
Yeah.
Minnesota, who's starting?
I
Who's
don't know,
starting
but
for them?
Royce Lewis. While you're looking at that, Royce Lewis he's the. I mean, he for me is the catalyst on that offense. Obviously, Correa in that second game had probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time. both
Right.
both offensively and defensively. I mean, he's going against his old team, old stadium. He's probably got extra chip on his shoulder. But overall, like, yeah, Correa's great. But overall, Royce Lewis, man, he ignited that offense.
I was there when they drafted him. They were so excited for this kid. Like Torrey Hunter, everyone that was part of that front office that drafted him, like he was like the next. I don't even know. They just said this kid's an amazing hitter, amazing approach, amazing person. They were super excited. And these kids went through so many injuries. It's good to see that
I know.
he's on this stage now and his talent's showing because they drafted him, what, 4 or 5 years ago, probably 6 years ago. They were so
It's been a
excited.
minute. I mean, it feels like yesterday. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like, you love to see success stories like that. Guys like that Burger guy for the Marlins, just riddled with like injury after injury or major injury, and they come back and perform in the biggest stage. It's awesome.
Yeah. So on game three, they got, well, we'll cover game three tomorrow, but it's Javier and Gray.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
We'll
tough
worry
on
about
Houston, man.
we'll worry about that one another day.
Yeah,
So today we're
we'll
going
get to it.
D-backs, and we're split on the Phillies and Braves.
Yep,
Ooh, let's go D-backs. Let's do it. I want to see those guys
I
do
know.
that.
I can't
And I
wait.
love their manager. I love that when they partied in Milwaukee, he said, "Tonight I am not your manager. Don't judge me." It's
Did
awesome.
he say that?
I'll play for that guy any day for a guy that says stuff like that.
That's hilarious. I didn't pick up on that.
That works
Well,
well with a
that's
young
great.
team. Then you got the salty dog Longoria just there for the fun ride. It's awesome.
He's not so salty though. I mean,
No, he's not.
I didn't see
Nice
it in
guy.
Tampa, but yeah, yeah, not like you.
Hey man, whatever keeps your edge going.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
All right, we'll see
Excited
what
to watch,
happens
especially the
tonight.
Philly. Yep.
Subscribe, listen live. Hope I don't know if this showed up live, but we'll see. But we'll see you guys tomorrow.